back, Joe.
Coach, kind of a two-part question. First, do you think your team has done enough to lock in a #1 seed as of tonight? And secondly, I know you've talked about you like being the underdog more than the team that people are chasing. How do you get your team to embrace that going forward in a tournament run, to maybe feel like the underdog, feel like the chips on their shoulder, knowing there's probably going to be a 1 seed next to their name when the NCAA tournament comes?
We've had more success in this league this year than we did last year. And it's probably a little bit tougher league this year. So I do think, you know, our body of work speaks to a #1 seed. And, you know, we haven't played the underdog role all year long except one game, and that was UConn. So, you know, I don't think we'll be in that role, you know, unless we face UConn again. So for us, you know, we're just going to focus in on the task at hand. And, you know, this team has been really good at that. Whether we're the favorites or the underdogs, you got to play the game. And I think what we bring to the table, you know, with experienced players and some talented young players, hopefully we put ourselves in a position to win.
David?
Dawn, you've seen what Olivia can do when the opponent's star player. You know, she did it against Weiss last year in the NCAAs, did it tonight. Does that, you know, merit consideration going forward to put her out there at the start and say you take their best player and so the USA can get ahead?
You know, well, I actually kind of liked the matchup. I liked her starting because it allows Tiffany Mitchell to roam free a little bit more from an offensive standpoint because she exerts herself defensively and offensively. But she's put Tiff is probably the most conditioned athlete on our team. But when you can put the speed of Olivia Gaines on the floor to allow, you know, less pressure on Tiffany, I think it's great. But, you know, Asia Dozier's done terrific for us. I don't think us making any changes at this point, but we got to try to find some more minutes for Olivia.
Brennan.
Like you were telling the crowd after the game, it's all but certain that you'll probably be hosting the first and second round games here. How nice is that after having to do as much traveling as you guys had to do last year?
I mean, I think it makes a world of a difference, you know, when you're able to know that your body of work, you know, puts you in a position to host and not have to travel over 2 and 3 time zones. You know, we talk about that was another pressure coming into the season, just trying to be one of 16 teams to host. And our players have handled, you know, everything that has been thrown to them throughout the year. But it feels really good knowing that we did what we were supposed to do.
Anything else for Coach Staley? One more, Brian?
Sorry, Vic said that he considered that Tiffany kind of set the tone from the beginning, and you had that SEC Player of the Year type performance. Do you think that there's anybody better in this league when she's on than Tiffany Mitchell?
I coach Tiffany Mitchell? No. So, you know, Tiffany Mitchell, I don't think any player in this league plays the way she does on both sides of the ball. It just has that ultra competitiveness, not just one way. It is, I don't want you to score on me, and I'm going to score on you. So when you have that mentality, I think she represents this conference well in being the Player of the Year.